Hi, everyone. Welcome to Soul Quest. I'm delighted to be here with Alicia Torres. Welcome, Alicia.
Hi, Sharon. Thank you for having me.
So, Alicia and I were acquainted in a Facebook group, and then we got on a phone call and we just talked up a storm. We had so much to talk about. So, I'm excited to talk to you more today and to have you share your life journey, your challenges and celebrations. Let's start with first of all, what's your astrology? Do you know your rising sign and your sun sign?
I know my sun sign is a Virgo.
That's right. We're
Rising,
both
I'm not too right. I'm not too sure about my moon and my rising.
okay. Well, we're both Virgos, so that's probably why we connected so well.
Yep.
So, Alicia, I would love to hear more about what it was like for you growing up. I know you told me a little bit about your journey in foster homes. Can you
Yes,
tell us what that was like for you?
I can. So, from what I was told, I was born in Brooklyn, New York. My my mother had three children, myself and three other siblings. They found us at 3 years old outside by the garbage. I believe we were in diapers. And that's when they took us, and that's when my foster journey started.
Wow. So then from there, so some people found you.
Yes, I guess some people found us and they called you know, CPS, and they came to get us, and we were in foster care. I was in foster care until 7. I was I got adopted by a family who was just for money. It wasn't for love. It was just like we were Cinderella. I felt like a Cinderella. I would cook, I would clean. They and their kids, their daughters, would just sit and um take everything in and didn't have to do anything. So for me, I thought being I had the second chance of being loved by parents, and they all they cared was about money. They didn't care about us. Christmas will come. They will get their kids, at the time, Cabbage Patch dolls and all these great gifts, while I will get socks and underwears.
Oh.
It was a lot of
Mhm.
abuse. It was mentally and physically abuse. So at the age of 16, well, let me just back it up. At the age of 14, they adopted us. And then at the age of 17, I got kicked out because I became pregnant. I told my mother, I said, I'm pregnant. She looked at me and just said that I had to get out. But she told my adoptive father that I was pregnant. And then he started trying to have sex with me.
Mm.
So
Oh,
I I left the house, and I went to a girls pregnant teenage girl pregnant shelter, and that's where I had my baby.
wow. Wow. So your siblings came with you into that house.
So it's four of us. Two went with one family and two went with
Wow.
another family. Yes.
And do you have contact with all your siblings? Like your
Ac-
biological?
Actually, we went to the same school, but it was like
Oh,
they were strangers.
Really?
But yes, throughout the years, we still know each other, but we don't know each other, if that makes
Oh
sense.
my. Yeah, yeah, it does. Wow. So much. That's so much for a child to go through.
Yeah.
And so and so when you got kicked out of your house,
Mhm.
did you ever talk to that family again?
Actually, no, no. I don't know if they are alive or anything. That was the only family I knew. So imagine, Christmas, the first Christmas, second Christmas, third Christmas, even though they didn't include me in the Christmases, it was still my family, unfortunately. And that's all I knew. So it was hard. I wanted to reach out, but I always say it was a blessing in disguise because I couldn't raise my son in that environment. So, yeah,
I can't imagine, yeah, raising your kid and seeing your kid being treated the way you're being treated by them would even hurt more.
right.
Wow. So getting pregnant at such a young age was a blessing.
Mhm. Was a
And
blessing. It really was
yeah,
because my kids are one's in the Navy, one works at the hospital. So when I say I've raised my kids by myself, now I have three children, three young adults, but two, they grew up with me. Yes, we were
okay.
in a teenage shelter for
Hmm.
pregnant teens, but it was better being there than at home.
Right. And how long did you stay in the shelter?
Well, that right there, I had the baby there. I had my son there, but I got kicked out because I was fighting. I was angry. I was an angry teenager, a child, because I was saying, why me? Why do I have to
Mhm.
go through this? So I was very, very angry. I used to fight. I used to, because I didn't understand, like, why don't they love me like they love their
Right.
own kid? I said, they adopted me. You're supposed to love me. So throughout my time, throughout, my life, I was always searching for love. I was in relationships that I shouldn't have been in. But just to say, I'm in a relationship and have that stability.
Yeah, and that happens with a lot of women that weren't loved growing up when they're, missing a father figure or just not getting attention from their father, just they tend to just jump in any relationship, even if it's abusive.
Yeah.
So then, what was your journey like after the shelter you? So was getting kicked out of the shelter a blessing? Where did that lead you then?
I was just here and there. Um, I had no goals.
Mm.
I didn't know where I was going to turn to. Mind you, I didn't know how to raise a child. I never, I never been around kids. I never saw a healthy relationship. So, I had my place. I actually had to get on like social service and I had food stamps and I got into my own place. But to tell you the truth, after that, getting my own place and being on social service, that's when my healthcare career started at the age of 18. And it lasted all the way, I was there for 30 years working in the healthcare.
Wow.
Hmm
That's amazing. That's a long
Yeah,
time to
it's a
stay with
long
that. That's great.
time. Very, and to tell you the truth, I still probably would have been there. Not in the same facility. I worked in different facilities, but yeah, but altogether 30 years.
Wow, that's great.
Hmm.
So you had that career stability for sure.
Yes,
Did you get married?
I did get married. But it was you want to get married? Yeah, okay. I knew that I didn't love him. I, it was just one of those things. Again, searching for love, you know. Um, and we got married, but it didn't last. I knew it wasn't gonna last because I knew I didn't love him. I knew that he wasn't ready.
Uh-huh.
So that lasted, I'm going to say a year, but we remained friends.
And he's the father of one of your children?
No, no,
Oh, he's
mm-mm,
not. Okay.
no, no. But I did get married again, and yes, he is the father of my youngest. Um, he he was an older man, and there I go looking for stability. But we both were broken. We get along really, really well now. He's the excellent father, but as far as marriage, we shouldn't have been married. Yeah,
Well, there was something that you learned in that marriage, right?
I did. I did. Um, we had a daughter. We have a daughter, and for me, I learned about myself because I was just searching and wanted to be loved so much. And like I said, he's 10 years older than me. So I looked at him as not a father figure, but you want to be have that stable life.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're
Hmm.
all we're all looking for, something. Well, I don't know, not all of us. But it's nice to have something stable in our lives, and a lot of times
It,
as women, we think that comes through a relationship, right?
right. And
So,
that was me because
you
I
know
didn't know myself. I didn't
right,
know myself or I didn't love myself. So I was looking at other people to make me happy instead of making myself happy.
right, right, definitely.
Hmm.
And both of us, well, I'm not in the official 50 club yet, but I will be 50 next month in September. And when's your birthday again? September.
September 6th.
That's right. We're not so far away. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
We'll have to celebrate our birthdays together next year.
and
Yeah,
yeah, I'm loving it.
that would be fun.
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay. So then what happened in your life starting 2020 when everybody's lives changed? How did your life change in 2020?
So my life actually changed in 2021 when I lost my vision in my right eye. My left eye, I have 60%. And like I told you earlier, I was in healthcare for 30 years. So now
Mhm.
I'm I'm single and I'm saying, what am I going to do? That's all I knew was working at the hospital, nursing home, taking care of people. I'm the one that always took care of people. I'm not one that likes to get taken care of. So one
Mm.
day,
So, right.
getting off work. Yeah. Getting off work, my eye went black. I didn't know
Wow.
what happened. I never even heard of detached retina. I went to the emergency room, and that's when they said that I had a detached retina. They tried to save it at 8 hour surgery, and they couldn't save it. So
Wow.
now I went through a depression. I went through the poor me, the victim. My youngest daughter was going through her teenage stuff, and now she has to take care of me. Um, Getting my food, putting my food in order, making sure that I I go to my doctor's appointments. Now I'm like, okay, this is not me. One day it was the snap of a finger, and I said, this is not me. I can't do it. At the time, I lived in New York, so they had like the little stores like around the corner. And one day I went by myself. Sharon, when I went to that store, I had tears in my eyes. You know why? Because I did it. I wasn't waiting for my daughter. And that was the beginning. Bef-
Wow.
Before, yes. So for years, I said that I was going to move out of New York when my daughter graduates. And now this happened. But guess what? I still said I was going to move, and I did. I moved to another state by myself, and this started a whole new career. Now, so remember, I worked in the healthcare, always helping people. So instead of me helping people hands on, I'm helping people in other ways. So I always say, I lost my vision, but found my purpose. And that's
That is
when
so beautiful.
yes, and that's when I started my podcast. I, I wrote a kid's book. Um,
Mhm.
I started my YouTube channel and really dived in my self-love journey and my spiritual journey.
Amazing. Amazing. And what do you think makes it possible for some people when they get into these situations where whether it's losing vision or becoming paralyzed or something, becoming deaf? I mean, there's so many things that could happen that would take away a big part of how we live. And some people come out of it in this such an inspiring way. They do a whole new thing in their life. They come out, they're inspiring people, and then there's some people that just, like you said, go through the victim stage for a long time, maybe even their whole life may live in that victim mentality. Do you know, like, what was there anything that kind of drove you out of that woe is me? Like, do you remember that moment?
Yeah, I'm a fighter. I've been fighting all my life.
Mhm. You
So
have, yeah.
this hap this happened to me. Okay, this is the hand I was dealt. I had to put my big girl panties on and live life
Hmm.
because I still could live
Totally.
life. I still can accomplish my goals. And that's what I did. You have to
I
want
love
it.
it. Totally. Yes.
Hmm.
And have that willpower. And you coming from your childhood, how that planned out for you. I mean, I know we're both spiritual people, so do you believe that you planned that, like, before you came into this life? I'm going
Absolutely.
to, yeah. Okay. So
Yeah. Oh, I
that,
already knew. what was going
Yeah.
to happen my first half of life, you know. I
Yeah.
but I know my second half is completely different than my first half.
Mm,
I had to go through this to be the woman that I am.
totally.
Hmm.
I love it. It's so inspiring
Yeah.
because
So that,
um
mhm.
I was gonna say it's just amazing to be around people like you that you're like, oh my gosh, they've been through so much. You know, we've all been through so much in different degrees, and it's all about perspective. And yes, we've all had trauma in our own ways, but to grow up as a child and not have a loving family, not feel that love, it's such a big part of life. And so from moving from that to who you are today, it's just so inspiring. And
Thank
I
you.
applaud you for it's amazing. It's so amazing. It makes me want to cry. Um, so what what drove you or motivated you to write the children's book and tell us about the children's book?
Okay, so well, let me just say this. Me coming out of that, I had to go to a spiritual journey in 2015 when I got a divorce from my ex-husband. Because
Okay.
I was saying, why do I keep meeting these same kind of men? And during that spiritual journey, I was pointing at him. I was pointing at the other guy. I was pointing at everyone else but me. And the main
Mhm.
thing was me. I had to love myself and stop um thinking like these men can make me happy. So I just went on a spiritual journey, and it's been 11 years, but I had to, and it's funny because if I didn't go on my spiritual journey, I don't think I could have gone through me losing my vision as I did. I think I probably would have been, well, who knows, someone who would just live like my life is over. But I didn't want that. I know there is more to life out there for me. So I mean, you
Yeah.
said about the children's book.
Mhm.
I wrote the children's book because I wanted kids to know about their different bodies and how they can calm themselves, how without medicine. And I want them to know that they can, um, one of the books I want to write is affirmations. Speak positive to yourself. Know that you are you are wonderful. Know that um, different exercises can help you calm down. And I just want them to be at peace with themselves. So, and
Yeah, I love
so
that.
I wrote the book and the YouTube channel, and it's Grandma Alicia and the boys.
Awesome. I'll put that in the show notes. Um, just on a side note, I wrote a children's book too, with the same with the same idea of helping kids. Mine was about positive affirmations and visualization, and I wrote it and I named it after my daughter, but it's been about I guess it was twelve years ago I wrote it, and
Really?
I
How
don't have very many.
cute.
I don't have. Yeah, so I get the drive to help kids for sure, because
Yes.
we didn't get helped in that way, right?
Hmm.
So I
Hmm.
know my parents did the best they could, but when it came to spirituality, it was just this way or no way.
Right.
um,
And that's
and
most.
mental health,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So, and I like the point that you said, if you were not on a spiritual journey, you might still be living in that victim mentality, right? Because
Mhm.
when you're living that spiritual life, it gives you so many aha moments of,
Yes.
oh, I chose this life. I chose this
Hmm.
challenge. Oh, this is a challenge that I'm going to overcome.
Hmm.
So it really does give you validation of why everything's happening and that it's not um, the end of the world. It's actually to help you grow and expand.
Yeah. I heard some things about
I love
myself
it.
that I didn't like and I needed to fix.
Mhm.
Being on that spiritual journey.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. It really helps you go dive deep.
Hmm.
And so, how did the podcast come about? Tell us about your podcast.
So I moved to the different state and I said, okay, I'm taking the mask off. For years, I never talked about my family because to tell you the truth, Sharon, I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed that I was a foster child and no one wanted me. But once I moved here, I said, I don't care. I want to be naked. I want people to know me, what I went through. So I said, I have a story, like many of us, that needs to be told. And that's what I did. I put that phone up and just started recording.
Love it. You got the download and you were like, I'm doing it now.
I'm doing it now. Yes. I didn't know what I was doing. I still don't know, but it's coming.
I
It's
know
coming
it.
along.
I feel like, yeah, I feel like that too sometimes. I'm like, I
Yeah.
just don't even know how I got here. Like, I just keep going. I keep going because I keep being told to do
Right.
it.
You're right.
And
And that was me.
yeah, and it's fun and you get to meet interesting people. So, this I Am Enough period, I love that title.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is a segment you started recently, right?
So I am more than enough period. I
I am
started
more than.
in 22. Um,
Okay.
because I finally know that I'm enough. And I put period because that's it. I'm enough. I'm worthy. So on that podcast, I started a segment is lunchtime connections stronger than a storm, where I have women come on and tell their story. Like I said earlier, we all have a story that somebody needs to hear. And
Uh-huh.
I have met some amazing women, such as yourself, um, come on my show.
Oh, well.
And I'm so excited because you're coming and others. And
Mhm.
I have been networking with people and it's just amazing. It's going to
Yeah.
be on Mondays, um, Fridays and Saturdays, but I do have several um subjects that I'm doing. I'm doing 50 women who are over 50 and over who are starting over, like myself. I also have, if you are blind and you've been blind 5 years or less, I- I'm looking for people. Also, I have, if you had to tell your adult child that that you have to love them from a distance because they are toxic. I'm calling all moms. Come on my show. I also have if you are a daughter that had to love their mom from a distance because of their toxic relationship, come on my show, tell your story. So it's healing for me and therapeutic for me, hearing these beautiful women
Yes.
tell their story. And yes, they went through the storm and they came out stronger, but that's what I want to hear. That you didn't stay down.
Right, right. To see the growth that occurred and that it's inspiring for other people.
Yes,
Um, and I love that you give women a safe space to share that, because
yes,
it's important that we all share, you know.
yes.
And I've seen, yeah, go ahead.
A lot of times, a lot of people don't have that support. I didn't. When I lost my vision, I thought people I have known for 20 years, 30 years will be by my side, and they weren't. But I met women that 6 months and they were there. I have my sister, I'll call her my sister. Her and her husband paid my rent for 3 months. 3 months without me asking.
Wow, that's great to
Yes.
have that support.
Yeah.
Amazing. I know we're gonna run out of time soon, so
Already?
let me just start to wrap. I'm gonna wrap it up now. Can you
Well,
share with the audience what's one thing that you do every day that helps you stay balanced and grounded?
be in gratitude
Mm,
because I'm so grateful for the things that left my life, but I'm also grateful for the things that are coming. So I'm just being grateful.
that's so beautiful. That is so important. So important.
Also, I would like to, um, one of the co-founders with myself and two other women, Val, aka Yipa, and Rasheen. And it's called Royal Rooted and Rising on Facebook. If you want to be motivated, inspired, empowered, you can join. It's a safe space. Um, is if you looking for community, that's the place. Sisterhood. So Royal, Rooted, and Rising on Facebook.
Right. Yes, a great group. I added myself a couple of days ago, so I'm excited to see what
Oh,
goes
it's
on in
that.
there. Thank you for
Oh, I love it. You gotta love it. Also, my YouTube channel. I am more than enough. Period podcast on YouTube, and of course the
Yes, I'll
book.
put that in the show notes.
Okay, and of course the
Yes,
book Grandma Alicia and the Boys on YouTube.
I love it. So cute. Great. Well, this has been nice. Sorry about the lagging between us. It kind of makes it a little hard, but it will look good in the end. I'm going to say goodbye right now, but can you just stay on for a moment?
Ever, ever.
Thank thank you,
Bye.
Alicia.
You're welcome. Thank you.